2 years ago, my childhood friend, with whom I shared a long history, tragically took his own life. This occurred during our senior year in high school, and the catalyst for his decision was a distressing incident involving a girl he had been fond of. For a considerable time, we used to openly discuss his feelings for her, and eventually, he gathered the courage to ask her out. Their relationship progressed, and he confided in me about their experiences, including their intimate moments. However, the situation took a dark turn after they engaged in a sexual relationship. Following their brief romance, the girl betrayed his trust by screenshotting all their conversations and leaking them, along with an explicit video they had made. Disturbingly, she had coerced him into creating this video. Our conservative community strongly disapproved of premarital intimacy, and the explicit content quickly circulated, reaching the school administration and, subsequently, his family. Upon discovering the explicit details, his family, angered and disappointed, confronted him. Since he had recently turned 18, they disowned him and severed all ties. In the midst of this turmoil, I pleaded with my family to allow him to stay with us temporarily until he could find stability. Initially hesitant, my family relented after a day of persuasion, granting him a 1-week stay. During that week, he secured alternative accommodation. To support him further, I secured a job, helping with his rent until he could afford it independently, even if it meant living paycheck to paycheck. After settling into his new place for 2 weeks, I received devastating news from his family. He had taken his own life, discovered by a concerned neighbor in the morning. In the note he left behind, he detailed his struggles, addressing me directly, and penned a separate message for his family. 2 years ago, my lifelong best friend, with whom I shared my childhood, took his own life during our senior year of high school. The tragic event was triggered by a girl he had liked for a considerable time. We used to discuss his feelings for her, and he eventually gathered the courage to ask her out. They went on a few dates, and their relationship took a more intimate turn. He confided in me about these developments. Unfortunately, their liaison took a dark turn when she screenshot every message he sent her and leaked them, along with a video of their intimate encounter. She coerced him into making the video. In the community we come from, premarital relations are heavily frowned upon. The explicit content circulated widely, reaching the school administration, which, in turn, informed his family. Upon discovering the situation, his family was infuriated, and since he had turned 18, they not only disowned him but also cut off all communication. When he disclosed these heartbreaking events to me, I implored my family to allow him to stay with us until he could stand on his own. Initially resistant, my family eventually agreed, albeit with the condition that he could stay for only a week. Within that week, he found alternative accommodation. To support him financially, I secured a job, ensuring he could cover his rent until he achieved financial stability, even if it meant living paycheck to paycheck. After 2 weeks, he moved out and began working. Tragically, 2 weeks later, I received news that he had taken his own life. His family informed me, revealing that he was found in his apartment by a neighbor in the morning. He had left a note, addressing both me and his family. The grief that followed was overwhelming. I understand the depth of your pain and the complexity of emotions you're grappling with. The loss of a dear friend under such circumstances is an incredibly challenging experience. If you need someone to talk to or share your feelings, please feel free to do so. She dreamed of going to college and I applied there, and all the other colleges she applied to, and I got into most of them. And after I found out which college she was going to, I accepted their offer and got into it. After joining, I gradually started to become friends with her, and soon we became good friends as she already knew me because of him, and we started going everywhere together. And all this time, I wanted to kill her because of her ending his life, and soon I was planning to do the same thing she did to him, so I started dating her. We went on dates every week for the first 3 months. And I did all this to make her love me, and after that one day I was using her phone and trying to find a picture I took when I found a video of her taking the device of a guy who looked like a 14-year-old teenager in the video, so I tried to find others. And I found one where he was bed seen and then had her discover that I was cheating on her, and sent a video of us making supposed love along with one where she licks a 14-year-old's instrument. So after a week I convinced her to record our bed scene, and I made sure her face was shown correctly on the video, and once I had her video, I moved on to getting time where she could see me sleeping with another girl. So after 1 month, I found the perfect timing as her birthday was coming up, and also another holiday, so I found a girl who goes to the same class as me. And I started being with her for a week, and then the day came when I told her to come to our shared apartment, and I knew what time his ex was coming home from class. So I made sure that we made love when she entered our apartment. I made sure the wedding party made love when she entered the apartment, and then when I was with the girl I had been with for a week, making love in our bedroom, and when his ex came in and saw me and her making love, she started yelling at the girl and at me. She tried to attack me, so the girl left. The girl had left by then, and I was the one paying the rent. So after stopping her, I told her to leave since she was living in my apartment, and after she left, I started getting calls from all her friends yelling at me about what an asshole I was for cheating on her the day before her birthday. And after all her friends called me the next day, on her birthday, I sent videos of her making love to me, and her making love to a 14-year-old along with all their pictures to her friends, and everyone I knew that we were friends, and it was my birthday present to her. After that I didn't go to college for a week, and when I came back I found out that the video went viral and she became known as a lover of young boys. And she was expelled from college, and it was her dream college. After that, some of her friends apologized to me and everyone else who was friends with her. I soon cut her off from me, sent all the stuff she kept in my apartment to her family, and then stopped communicating with her family or anyone else who was our mutual friend. Her family told my family what happened, how I cheated on her, and admitted the part where she slept with a 14-year-old. And my family stopped talking to me. After all this, I didn't talk to her for a month, and didn't hear from her until 2 months later. My family told me that she committed suicide because she couldn't get into any college. Her family, except her parents, also cut her off from me. After that, her parents blamed me for her suicide. After that, I graduated from college. All this happened a couple years ago. Now I go to my best friend's grave every week. I'm close to his family and friends with his brother, and now I am in a relationship with my current girlfriend, and she knows about everything that happened over the years. The plan I had devised had succeeded. I had avenged my best friend. I didn't plan for her to kill herself, but honestly, I was glad she did, and I won't regret it. My only regret is that I let her get close to my best friend, and he committed suicide, and she laughed about it with her friends, and she damn well deserved it. For what she did, I miss him every day, and there's nothing I wouldn't do to get him back.